Alrighty, YouTube, welcome to another trade recap. For those that are the first time here, my name is Nick. I am a day trader. I trade the 5 minute chart, mostly London session, price action without indicators except from some moving averages. And yeah, I trade every day. I trade forex pairs, indices, and whatever looks good, whatever fits my playbook, I trade. So, today's recap. It is Friday, the 30th of June. I took 4 trades today, one loser, a very bad loser, in fact, a very silly mistake, and 3 winning trades, which is, of course, very cool, very happy, good end to a very productive week. So let's start with the painful recap. Let's start with the Euro USD trade, which really was not good at all. I always start my pre-market analysis on the daily time frame, as you can see also in my other videos. But now, for the fact of speeding this whole process a bit up, because there's a lot to recap, I start here on the 1 hour. Now, what I was seeing pre-market was the price was down here. I saw that, and this, just for the sake of understanding, this blue session is Asia and this purple overlay is the London session. Now I saw this Asia low, this swing low over here, and I was under the impression that this is a very strong level where the price could bounce. And I made the big mistake that I took, and let me do the replay, I took at the open this entry. So I saw this Asia swing low over here. I saw this somewhat of a inverted head and shoulder play. You can see over here, these wicks, they couldn't close below this wick to the left, to this left shoulder, and I went in on the open, which I never do. I do have to say that that's like a mistake, which you saw over here. Nice engulf candle pushing off this level. And this is something, by the way, which I hardly do. I hardly take the opening candle of any session. I traded the New York session for a couple of years. Now I'm trading the London session because it's more time friendly for me. And I never take this opening candle. But today I couldn't tell you why. I guess everybody makes mistakes, and this is what it was, because right after, you can see what happened. I got stopped out. I took this engulf. I put my stop loss a little bit, gave it some space, was looking at the high of this Asia high over here, was looking at that, and yeah, got stopped out instantly. And yeah, my mistake, my bad, just very bad. Now, what should have been the right thing is this. I should have not looked at a reversal trade there. I should have looked at this level. And this was the good level. This was the good level. Apart from this being a continuation trade, by the way, apart from this being a nice continuation, you can see here there was like a trend line break. Price could not push above here and then went to the downside. Let me show this to you. It then started going to the downside, and it just continued the overall trend, which you can see is in a downturn. Yeah, just silly, really silly that this happened. But this level which I drew down here, that was actually the right level, and I'm showing to you in a second why this was actually the right level. Because when you go to the left, and I always emphasize that, look to the left, bounce, bounce, over here, bounce, 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 more bounces. So this is much more of a key level, of a real key level, than whatever I drew over here. So yeah, this was the unfortunate situation, but let's move on and let's see now the positive things. So first of all, US NAS 100, and this one was a great trade. Really a great trade, and I'm loving it. I'm showing you why. Now we have the 5 minute over here. You have this nice Asia higher high, higher low structure, right? Now look at this. This is a perfect higher high, higher low structure. Oops, let me take here the drawing tool. Higher high, higher low structure. Now around the time when the market opened, we were right on this level over here. We're right here on this level where the last higher low was. Now we also had a very nice demand zone right here, okay? Now when the market opened, maybe you can see that we had here this inverted hammer candle looking like the market pushes to the downside. The market opened, it pushed below and came right back up, snapped nicely back out of it. Now the first trade would have been a very nice one, or would have been here, which was a very nice trade right into this supply zone over here. That could have been the first trade on this pair, or on NAS 100, which was very nice. However, I was looking at this differently. What I was looking at was this. I wanted a trend line break. I am categorically looking for trend line breaks in the morning, in the first half an hour. So I saw this nice trend line break to the upside coming out of this demand. Now I don't have a reversal pattern at this point, and when I don't have a reversal pattern at the trend line break in the morning, I wait for a pullback. Now what happened was that the price pushed aggressive out of this. So a new demand zone formed. A new demand zone formed right here. Now look at this. We are at this last higher low. We have a demand zone right here. We have a morning trend line break. We are in an uptrend structure. Price pulls back nicely to this moving average. It respects the moving average, bounces on it. Look closely. We have an inverted head and shoulder pattern also right here. Is a left shoulder, head, right shoulder. I draw this up quickly for you. We have a left shoulder, we have the head, and we have a right shoulder. Now on my MT4 and MT5, which I'm trading, this wick over here, this wick came all the way down here. And if you draw this horizontal line, you will see that none of these candles could actually close below this wick. They tried to go below, but they couldn't close, okay? So I entered in my long position as soon as the price pushed away from the moving average, and that's where I went into my long position. I risked this candle. And the interesting thing is, now from a take profit perspective, we are in an uptrend structure. Now, when I use supply and demand, I only want these zones to be filled once. Okay, so there's a supply zone, it gets hit once, price moves away, that's it. I'm not taking the same supply zone again and again. I never take demand or supply zones multiple times, especially if it's on the 5-minute. So to me, this supply zone was already filled. The supply zone here was already filled and it was all done, okay? So that indicated to me that since we are in this uptrend structure, the next hot point would be the last higher high, which was right over here. Which was right over here. And that was, for me, where I was aiming at. Now, yes, I could have held all the way to the top, which I should have, but I took, because it was a 3.2 to 1 trade, but I took it right over here. Bit more than a 2 to 1 trade, and that's where I took my profit. Should have held longer. I would have not held through this, definitely not, but I certainly should have held longer into this. But at the same time, I also saw this lonely swing high over here, this one over here, and at this point in time, we did not know if this is really an uptrend, if the uptrend continues or not. So that's why I just held till here, got out, was very happy with that trade. So yeah, this was the second trade, very nice. Then the third and the fourth trade that followed exactly the same methodology, the same play of my playbook. And this is a higher time frame play. And just let me do this very simple. I want to show this to you in a very simple format. Look at the daily. I told you before, my pre-market analysis always starts on the daily. Now, what did we see? On the daily, we saw that price was at the beginning of the week down here, right? And what do we see? Last time the price was down here, it bounced nicely to the upside. When price was down here, it bounced to the upside. So similar, when price came here on Monday, it started bouncing to the upside. Now this looks somewhat like a range, like if you look at it from this perspective. Now one could assume that once the price bounces from down here, maybe it could come all the way back up, because here we also have on the daily a supply zone. Now, what does this mean? This means for me that I saw this very nice can't close situation. Again, you see here the wick, this wick to the left. None of these candles could close below this wick. They went below, but the candles could not close below, and the price pushed to the upside. Now, I drew this down as yesterday's high. Okay. Now, when I do my pre-market analysis, I always look at yesterday's high and at yesterday's low. And this was yesterday, so yesterday high, yesterday low. Now, let's go to the 5 minute. And it's in fact a very simple play. And I love this play. Now, what I'm looking at is I'm looking for action right below yesterday's high or yesterday's low, depending in which direction the market goes. I want the price to be above both the moving averages. The price pushes through yesterday's high, it pushes through, it pulls back into it. Now, what is right below yesterday's high? A nice demand zone. Now, check this out. Happened all within the first half an hour, and that's when in my opinion, the most action happens. Price pushes above, gives us this doji over here, keeps on going, and shoots back aggressively. And then the next candle, it gives us this inverted hammer. Then the next candle opens right here and pushes below. And I am pretty certain that a lot of retail traders are going short on this. A lot of people get trapped over here. However, we know about this trap, so that's why we don't go short. Price comes down, pushes back up, and that's where I went long. Now, there was some news today on unemployment in Germany, which I knew is gonna come in, or which came in, I think around here somewhere, or just around this area. And they were in favor of the market, as you can see, as the market kept pushing up. I didn't hold. I just went. I took my entry on this, but I had my stop loss down here, a tight stop loss, and I took, I think, until here like 1.5 to 1. Just 5 minutes before the news came out, I exited my position. Like, I think it was here, like that. That's what I usually do. When these high impact news are coming out, I exit my positions 5 minutes before because I don't want to be in this high impact news. But this is only for high impact news. So yeah, this was this trade. I had a tight stop loss. I didn't go all the way down, just had it right here. And I took this long trade, very, very happy. Same concept on US dollar, Swiss franc. I'm showing it to you on the daily. Already drew the daily up. And same concept, check this out. Price on the daily popped out from here, traveled, and this is the daily, this is a long time, obviously traveled all the way up since May. It came back to where it initially broke out. There was a nice demand zone right here. The price consolidated on that demand zone, forming this triangle. Very nice. Then the price broke out of this triangle on Wednesday. Couldn't close outside, more or less came back. Then yesterday it pushed to the upside, looks very, very bullish, very strong, nice long wick. Same concept, I drew this daily level, which was yesterday's high. And I was looking for exactly the same thing, a continuation. The opening didn't give me a nice continuation, didn't feel comfortable entering on this trade. So what happened was exactly the same thing. We did have some action right below. Yesterday's high. Market pushed to the upside, gave us this doji, and you can see that once the price opened, it went below the doji. People went short. It tapped into this demand, at least MT4, MT5 on my broker. It tapped into this nice zone over here and aggressively pushed back. Now, because this zone is a bit further away and compared to the German 30, if you compare it, there was way more consolidation right below that zone. And the zone was right here. See, the zone was right here. Like at this consolidation was right at the high, at yesterday's high. Here there was a small gap, so I wanted some more confirmation. But once I saw that the price tried to push down but couldn't and came back up, I entered around here somewhere. Again, tight stop loss. Checking out where could be the next take profit, where could be the next resistance. Went to the daily time frame, and what do I see? A lonely swing high. a lonely ranger right here. And as I always say, whether it be the 1 hour or the daily, when you see these lonely swing highs or swing lows, you have to be aware of them. Dangerous, dangerous things. Because usually that's where price turns around. And I took it literally right till here, a little bit more than the 2 to 1, like 2 point, what was that? 2.66, so around the 2.5, let's say, commissions and stuff. And yeah, very happy. So you see, it is Friday, but still, we had very good trades, messed up majorly on Euro USD, which is okay, happens. But otherwise, the other three trades were very good according to playbook, to a higher time frame place. And this morning trend line break without a reversal pattern, waiting for the pullback and entering. Sometimes the price does not pull back and just keeps on going, and it is what it is. But all in all, very, very happy, made up for this situation over here. If you are interested in more trade recaps, in more price action playbook trades and strategies, do hit the subscribe button, do follow the channel, would love it, would love to see you more here. And thank you very much for watching. I wish you a beautiful weekend ahead, and let's get rested and recovered for another session on Monday. Take care of yourself, have a good one.